Kathleen, tell us a little bit about your experience in the process of getting through. The early phase from preliminary work through the design and detail work, and then construction.
So we started out in the design phase with Craig, who was wonderful, listened to everything that I was looking for. With regard to the kitchen, I had some real problem areas. We had a real congested corner where the microwave was and other things that were just not working in the kitchen the way it was designed in 1994. And I definitely wanted stone for the countertops. So he listened to everything. He designed all of the cabinets, which I didn't really give him a lot of detailed information about what I wanted, just basically where I wanted the garbage, but he put it all together, and actually it flows beautifully.
I often refer to it as first build the mannequin so that we know that the mannequin, the structure underneath and the functionality is really well done. And then you can dress that mannequin any way you want. You can dress it in fancy clothes, you can dress it in traditional clothes, you can dress it in really modern and contemporary. So those two are independent, but they have to work together. And we really want to make sure that it works right before we start talking about making it pretty. So Craig got you through the design.
Yes.
And came up with some really great solutions, helped you with the styling piece of it and certainly the function piece. Then talk a little bit about after you got under construction and we started actually coming to your house and making a big mess and tearing things up. What was that like?
Well, that's always a painful process little bit because it's very messy, dirty, dusty. But your folks were very on top of things. They walled off the upstairs when they were working downstairs. So there was plastic there, so the upstairs didn't get dusty.
Right.
You guys were great about the painting. Seemed like you were using low VOC paints, which I appreciate. So that wasn't as odor intensive as
it could have been.
I would have thought, yeah.
The flooring's tough one when we're doing field finish floor, and you were, in my opinion, you did the right thing to get that third coat. It's optional. You really always do too. We highly recommend that third coat of sealer and topper on there, particularly when there's high traffic and pets, because it just makes that floor so much more durable. But you're right, the downside, it costs a little bit more for that second coat because those products for the third coat, because those products aren't inexpensive. But in the immediate application, that it's a few more days that you got to work through it because the prior coat's got to dry, got to be hard, then you got to prep it, then you put the third coat on, and then you got to let that harden and finish. So I think those extra few days and that little bit extra money will make this floor beautiful and much more durable and look great for many more years than just those two would have. So good job on that one. You made a lot of good decisions here, and I would put that right up there with a lot of the good decisions that you made.
What I appreciate the most about, just in general, about working with Armada is you guys would come through with some very solid recommendations, and I knew to trust you at that point. So that was important.
And like we've talked about, not only do the people that work directly for Armada that we're trying to build an all-star team there, but also the separate companies that we use, the flooring companies and the drywall guys and the roofers and the heating and cooling and electricians, that all of those guys are the tops in their area as well. And we can't be the expert for everything, but we know the experts. And so then we use them and we rely on their expertise and recommendations because that's what they do and talk about every day. One thing that everyone wants to know is, would you recommend Armada to family or friends or work people, church people, that you interact with?
Absolutely.
Yes, okay.
Absolutely.
And you have.
And I have.
Right, perfect.
Yeah.
And been kind enough to let us bring some people through and take a look at their house on occasion. We don't want to have a parade here, but we have done that. And then one really cool thing that we did was after the project was done, we hosted an open house here for Kathleen and a lot of her friends and family, just to welcome them in and come on in and see the space, and, you know, sort of like having a baby, like, you know, let's go look at the little baby, but the baby was the house in this instance.